Now this portion is related to the obstetric, which is I am mash up with the obstetric and embryology both. Esophageal, now I am explaining esophageal atresia with or without tracheoesophageal fistula. How to manage antenatally, labor, delivery, postnatal and neonatal management options. Prenatally हम क्या करेंगे? Karyotyping to rule out aneuploidy, triploidy, trisomy 18 or DiGeorge sequence, chromosome 22 deletion. 10% of cases, 10% of cases में DiGeorge हमें मिलता है, chromosomal 22 deletion मिलती है. Then we are doing careful ultrasound imaging to exclude other anomalies. Careful counseling in such other abnormalities are found. Those newborns with CHARGE syndrome. I will explain this CHARGE syndrome, what is this CHARGE syndrome, but in further after a while. ठीक है, okay. Have some degree of mental retardation, but the majority of newborn with vectoral and the normal karyotype have normal intelligence. Even in the absence of karyotype or other structural abnormalities, careful counseling is required about implication for pregnancy, newborn period and beyond. Termination of pregnancy is an option that should be discussed with the parents and multidisciplinary team involvement. Vigilance for the polyhydramnios in continuing the pregnancies. Now, management of polyhydramnios associated with the preterm labor. Medical management is difficult. Indomethacin is of uncertain benefit. Adverse fetal effects of indomethacin or cyclooxygenase inhibitor class 2 generally preclude their use in the third trimester of pregnancy. Amnion reduction is an option. Okay, if patient is symptomatic, shortness of breath or other abdominal distension is very बहुत ज़्यादा है, पेशेंट को जो है वो डिस्कम्फर्ट हो रहा है, तो आप एमनी रिडक्शन कर सकते हैं. आफ्टर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ एंटीनेटल कॉर्टिकोस्टेरॉइड इफ प्री-टर्म लेबर इज कंसीडर्ड अ सीरियस रिस्क. ओके, नाउ लेबर एंड डिलीवरी मैनेजमेंट आर नॉट इन्फ्लुएंस्ड बाय द malformation. Now postnatal, neonatal. Even without the prenatal diagnosis, newborn with a polyhydramnios during pregnancy and excessive oral secretions require careful examination and urgent imaging, particularly if there are bathing difficulties or cyanosis. Manage the newborn as if she or he has the esophageal atresia until proved otherwise. Avoid oral feeding and undertake definitive surgery once the infant condition is stable. Now, what are the factors that influence the outcome are? These are the counseling points. Severity of associated anomalies, ventilator dependence, birth weight more than 1500 gram is associated with a reasonably good outlook. Prognosis, immediate surgical complication, asymptomatic anastomotic leaks, tracheal perforation, chest infection, late compliance. Now, prognosis is fully depend upon the immediate surgical complication, anastomotic leaks, tracheal perforation, chest infection, late complication, esophageal stricture, respiratory complications. After first year, 10% have respiratory complication and 8% have an esophageal stricture. 18 to 40% 18 to 40% have gastroesophageal reflux and its complication. However, 30 to 40% anastomotic stricture requiring the dilation usually resolve in one or two treatments. What are the management options? Less common forms with or without fistula may require more complex surgery. For example, gastrostomy, feeding, and delayed anastomotic repair. The prognosis is worse through improving. Worse through improving. Now, sorry, most cases of esophageal atresia are sporadic. However, careful family history is necessary to rule out the familial form. Detailed genetic counseling will be needed in such cases. Now, students, these two pages are related to the MCQs, factors that influence outcome, which I explained previously. This page is very important for MCQs. And the CHAR syndrome. What is the CHAR syndrome? Blockage of the post nasal opening, often associated with the bony abnormalities of midface. Unilateral most often है. Bilateral, when bilateral represent emergency and present with the upper airway obstruction, noisy breathing and or cyanosis that worsen during feeding and improve with the crying. Diagnosed by the failure to pass the nasopharyngeal tube and confirmed with CT scan. CHAR syndrome include coloboma, C for coloboma of eye, H for heart defect, atresia of Kona, restricted growth and development, genitourinary defects and ear defects. Though students, these are all about the embryonic period related abnormalities, and also I explained with the management with the antenatal, intrapartum and postpartum involvement. Okay, fetal medicine also involved and the embryonic period also. These all are the embryonic period. Okay, now second stage of the lung is pseudoglandular stage. Now students, we are on the pseudoglandular stage. Pseudoglandular stage, developing lung resembles as an exocrine gland. Okay, endodermal tubules surrounded by the mesoderm, containing modest capillary network. You see, this is the lung bud and this is the bronchial bud. Then it divides into each endodermal tubule branches into terminal bronchioles. These are the terminal bronchioles. Okay, these are the terminal bronchioles. So the right and left primary bronchi bifurcate. Right and left bronchi bifurcate. On right side 3 lobar secondary bronchi, on left side 2 lobar bronchi. This is also called the branching morphogenesis. On right side 20 tertiary bronchi, on left side 18 tertiary bronchi. Now terminal bronchioles surrounded by the modest capillary network. Students, here respiration is impossible, incompatible with life. No respiratory bronchioles or alveoli present. This is very important for the MCQ point of view. Now, duration of that period pseudoglandular occur in 5 to 16 weeks of gestation. Now, next is canalicular stage. The canalicular stage, each terminal bronchioles which are formed in the pseudoglandular stage into 2 or more respiratory bronchioles, which turn divided into the 3 to 6 alveolar ducts. 3 to 6 alveolar ducts surrounded by the prominent capillary network. Okay, these are the capillary network. Sorry. Primitive alveoli immature have cuboidal epithelium and it is not good for the gas exchange. Surrounded by the prominent capillaries, which are the pulmonary capillaries. Okay, this is the structure. This is open alveolar sac, open, and this is the structure cuboidal cells, and there's the capillaries. This is also called the primitive alveoli. Or airways increases in the diameter. Pneumocytes develop starting at 20 week. Respiration capable at week 25. So premature infants born before 20 weeks rarely survive. This is MCQ point of view. It is important. Also, this canalicular stage occur in 16 to 26 weeks. Which changes are occurring in that stage? Terminal bronchioles divide into 2 or more respiratory bronchiole, which turn into 3 to 6 alveolar ducts. Okay, terminal bronchioles divide into 3 to 4 ducts and alveolar sacs, and the capillaries surrounded that, and it is also called the primitive alveoli. That's all. Now, next is stage is the terminal saccular stage. The terminal saccular stage, in which terminal sac, that means primitive alveoli, form. This is the terminal sac, means primitive alveoli is formed, and capillaries establish close contact separated by primary septa. Okay, separated by primary septa, which is not in this picture. Okay, terminal saccular stage, this is the primitive alveoli, mature but not so much mature, not completely mature. ठीक है, ओके, ये पूरे मैच्योर नहीं हुए हैं अभी. इसमें क्या होता है, ऑल क्यूबाइडल सेल्स जितने भी हैं, ये क्यूबाइडल सेल्स हैं, ये डिवाइड हो जाते हैं 2 सेल्स में. फ्लैट सेल्स होते हैं टाइप 1, स्पेशलाइज क्यूबाइडल सेल्स को हम टाइप 2 कहते हैं. यहाँ इस स्टेज में, टर्मिनल सैकुलर स्टेज में, बेसमेंट मेम्ब्रेन इज फॉर्म, पल्मोनरी कैपिलरीज आर increasing number of alveoli, increasing number of respiratory bronchioles. This stage occur in from the 26 weeks onward up till the birth.